There's a lot of people out there that hate lawns. They choose to abolish them if they could, but I think those people are largely misinformed. There's actually a lot of benefits to turf grasses in our yards and in our neighborhoods, so much so that I wanted to devote my time in today's video just to explain one of those major benefits in greater depth: soil health. A well-maintained lawn will improve the soil it grows in. The microbiology in the lawn soil will flourish more than you can imagine, spurring increased activity in the desirable larger organisms like beneficial bugs, worms, and birds. True, a meadow lawn can do the same thing, which can be a valid option for those that like that look and don't need the flat space. And in fact, real meadow lawns, which feature native grasses and flowers in addition to the living turf, can be even better for the environment. But for those that argue that hardscapes are the way to go so as to limit water usage for landscaping, the soil under those hardscapes slowly starts dying off. With little to no moisture, high compaction, and no living plants growing in it, the biology in the soil dies off, leaving an area nearly devoid of life. When grass grows in a lawn, not only does the area become more usable to the yard owner, but the natural cycle of plant growth and death results in deposits of organic matter into the soil. Throughout the year, roots grow and shed into the soil, while grass stems, leaves, rhizomes, and stolons do the same thing. The growth of new plant tissues relieves soil compaction in the ground, allowing for a far more diverse and active underground network of biology in the form of both fungi and microbes. Worm activity will increase, causing better soil structures, and their castings will continue to add to the richness or fertility of the soil, regardless of an individual manually fertilizing it. Soils that have no plant life growing in them will dry out, compact down, and become more and more anaerobic, triggering the death to much of the microbiology in the area. If there is little microbial activity in the soil, then the smallest creatures leave the area as well. Birds, butterflies, bees, worms, they have no need for these areas, and these zones simply decrease the available environments that these creatures call home. With the plant life cycle of growth and shedding of older organic material throughout the year, a maintained yard full of grass will have a higher cation exchange capacity, the CEC. It'll be higher than soils that have been hardscaped for years. In the future, a soil that has been compacted will be harder to grow anything in because of the lack of organic matter in the soil that would have been added had turf grass been grown on it the whole time. Hardscaped environments will be hotter, will sequester zero carbon, will create no oxygen, and will provide habitat for virtually nothing. Higher CEC soils are beneficial because they are more fertile. Nutrients don't leach from them as readily, and surface water doesn't flow off of them as easily. Water will instead penetrate the surface faster and absorb deeper into the profile, making it even easier for deep-rooted perennial plants to grow in the area. With increased microbial activity, organic material can be broken down more efficiently, surface pollutants can be filtered and removed from the water as it flows through the underground network of roots and rhizomes, and those same soils start sequestering carbon year over year over year. Although turf grasses do require water to live, most places get enough water through the year to stay alive when they're allowed to go into drought-triggered dormancy. For those areas that get very little natural rainfall, then there are plenty of drought-tolerant grass types that could be grown that require far less water than traditional lawn grasses. For northern climates, K31 tall fescue is very drought tolerant, and some varieties of turf type tall fescue too. And for most any region that isn't very humid, buffalo grass is one of the most tolerant grasses to low water inputs of them all. For warm season areas in more humid conditions, Bahia grass is a solid option for turf that can go without water for longer periods of time. Each of these grass types will grow all by themselves in ideal conditions throughout the year, and they will all enter drought dormancy during long dry stretches, assuming that their yard owners don't irrigate them to keep them green all year long. Long story short, lawns are used around neighborhoods for good reasons. They promote safe, attractive areas for people to live amongst and use. And possibly more importantly, they promote soil health, and they provide habitats for the smallest creatures that we need in our immediate environments. Make sure to see this playlist right here for deep dives into many of the other benefits of turf grass lawns. And if you're planning on renovating your yard soon, then seriously consider the installation of buffalo grass. Converting as many lawns across America into buffalo grass is a major part of who I am, and it's something I value highly. I have a few videos all about buffalo grass on this channel already. This one here is the one you have to watch first because it explains why I think the way that I do. Thank you very much for watching.